Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Powley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight, I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance from Yves Saint Laurent. This fragrance is La Nuit de L'Homme. This is from 2009, so I have two bottles here. This bottle right here is the most recent formulation, and this is the second formulation. So there is a third formulation, which is the original, and that bottle is very rare. It's hard to get. It's very expensive. I had an opportunity to get one maybe 2-3 years ago, but the prices that the gentleman wanted were astronomical. With the original version from 2009, there are two prominent characteristics that the fragrance has in terms of the bottle and the fragrance. The fragrance is a golden color, and the top of the bottle is metallic. These two have plastic tops, so they are very, very different. This fragrance is about 7-8 years old, and this one is about 2. So I'm going to compare the two. But one thing I want to say off the top is, many times when I wore this fragrance, this was my number one compliment getter out of every fragrance I've ever worn. People would say, "Jared, what are you wearing?" And I would never tell them, but I'm telling you, this was the one. This was the one that I did like as a fragrance, but all the compliments I received about it, it made me love it. So the more I wear it, the more comments you get. I've come to the conclusion that this is a truly amazing scent. And also there is a difference from the way it smells on your skin versus the scent wafts and the scent trails that you leave. And you always have to remember that. And I remember there was a couple guys I knew in the past, I would get them to see my scent trails and my scent wafts, and it's very different from what you smell on your skin. It's always good to have someone you can trust to give you an honest assessment of the fragrance you're wearing, because people generally don't like to say too much. So I'm going to take these two out of the packages and give them a spray and give you my assessment. So there is a difference between them. I'm just a considerable difference. So here is the edition that's 7 or 8 years old, the second formulation. It's amazing fragrance. And here is the most recent, which is about 2 years old. So I would say that the most recent formulation, the one that is 1 to 2 years old, the initial spray is smoother, more powder like. It has more lavender in it and a little more of a synthetic smell to it. As the most recent dries down, it loses quite a bit of its power, but it retains its similar DNA from the initial spray. But it's lighter, it's still sharp and somewhat sweet. Hours later, you can pick up some of the cardamom, but it has more of a floral type of scent to it. The second formulation, the one that's 7-8 years old, right off the bat, it is much creamier, it's deeper, it's richer, it's nuttier. You can take in a lot of the cardamom, and that is the big difference. It's has so much more depth than the modern formulation. And as it dries down, it just becomes, it broods more. It seems to be getting like more and more creamier and heavier. And later on, as the hours pass, it's still pushing with this dark sweetness. So I get a lot of differences between the two, and performance is one of them. And the original, not the original, the most recent formulation of La Nuit de L'Homme, people complain about the performance, but I actually got very, very good performance. I would get 6 to 8 hours. Most people say they only got 3 to 4. I get 6 to 8 on the second formulation, but it's heavier, it's deeper, there's greater projection, greater scent bubbles, but people love this one. The ladies loved it, guys loved it, everybody loved it. I think anybody between the ages of 18 and 50 can wear it. It's beautiful, it's sexy, it's well balanced, it has it checks off all the boxes, has all the qualities, and it's not a super expensive fragrance. It's a designer fragrance. As advertised, the top notes are cardamom, the mid notes are lavender, cedar, and bergamot, and the base notes are vetiver and caraway. So I would just like to make a a few last comments about this fragrance is that I don't have the original, and that's something I want to get my hands on. And I would suspect that it is even deeper and heavier. And when I say that deeper and heavier, and it's brooding, is that when you smell your skin, it just, your nose can just keep taking it in and taking it. It's almost like an endless well of aroma. But something that is lighter, which is the most recent formulation, you take it in and it runs out of aroma. But that's what I mean by depth. And the brooding, it's like a never ending. You can just take it in and more and more. And just the performance in terms of its ability to continually project at a consistent rate over the hours. So this is something I would definitely, all guys, to check out, to sample. Always try before you buy. Performance is the one thing that there seems to be a fair bit of discrepancy on between people. But lastly, I would say with this fragrance, there are many flankers now. So this is the EDT. So make sure you know what you're buying, because most companies have many flankers. EDT, La Nuit de l'Homme. So if you like this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Leave any comments or questions down below, and I look forward to answering them. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.